What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today, we're going to show you how to build this optimized resin farm. And yes, this farm has been fully optimized. Instead of using a hopper clock like most of your YouTubers have done, I've used a repeater clock so I can optimize it right down to the tick. Literally, all you can have is 50 ticks because there's 10 ticks in a second and there's 50 ticks in 5 seconds. So this 50 tick timer damages these creakings as fast as possible. And if you've built any of the other farms on YouTube, you will have known that it's not always possible to get all of your creakings to line up just like this. They don't like to stack up very well because they're a little bit more than a block. My design here has made it to where they all fit in a one wide area and they all get hit by tridents. The spawning area wraps around the farm, so there's plenty of spawning spaces, so you always get creakings super fast. The hearts to all the creakings are in the center of all these logs in here, and the reason why they're in the center and the outer logs move is because if you move these logs, the hearts actually turn off and turn back on for a split second, which actually slows down your farm. And as you may have noticed, I have stacked mine up vertically so that way all the items fall down and it's minimal time until the items get collected by your storage system. Not to mention that there's only one piston per 11 blocks, so there's less pistons and there's less materials that you'll need to build this. I've also put in an auto crafter in here, so that way your resin all gets turned into resin blocks. I've also used a daylight sensor, but unlike the other YouTubers, I've added 4 Redstone Dust because at this time, when the daylight sensor produces that much signal or doesn't produce that much signal, it's exactly the time that the creaking spawn and despawn. So here we go. Let's go ahead and set the time to sunset there, and you can see that they're all going to despawn and the farm turns off. As the sun goes down, the redstone signal increases, and as you can see here, the creakings are about to spawn in, and it turns the farm on right at the same time that they begin to spawn. There's one of them right now, there's 2 of them, and here's the farm turning on, so it's perfectly timed to start right when they start to spawn. So now it's early morning, these guys are almost ready to despawn, and the farm will turn off right as they despawn. So we're going to continue filming here until they do. And as you can see, they're still getting attacked here. The farm is still running. They all just despawned, and now the farm turns off, and you'll see that it no longer fires. And I've built this farm in a way that it's super easy to expand. All you have to do is build it upwards, and it takes just a few redstone torches right here on these pistons, and you can build a whole nother farm right above it without having to build any of the timers or anything else that goes with it. And a single module of this farm, which is exactly what you see behind me, produces 18,000 items per hour. However, it is daytime and nighttime throughout a day, and this farm only works at night, so your time's pretty much cut in half, which really means that it only makes about 9,000 items per hour, which is still pretty good. And since this farm is expandable, there's really no limit to how fast you can make this thing. You can expand it up until you get the rates that you want. And with that being said, if you guys are excited to get started with the tutorial, then go ahead and smack the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get started with the tutorial. A material list will be down in the description. So to get things started, you are going to want to chunk align your farm and sub-chunk align your farm. And if you don't know how to do that, then I've got a tutorial on how to do that right there in the top right-hand corner and down below. This build is 15 blocks deep from front to back. It's 21 blocks tall from bottom to top, and it's 2 floors below the floor level, and it's 17 blocks wide. 1 block of which hangs outside the chunk border, which is actually something that I'm not too particular on, but at the same time, this part of it doesn't even run while the machine is running. All this part of it does is detect when the creaking are coming into the kill chamber, so they spawn into the spawning area, they trip this tripwire, it triggers this circuit so that way the gate will open, allow the creaking to go in, and then it shuts the door, and after all of them are in there, it no longer functions. Which is the reason why I'm okay with that being outside the chunk border, and you can pick and choose which side you want to be outside the chunk border, so you can scoot it to the left, or you can scoot it to the right, you can put it wherever you like. And when you're planning out your chunk, you're going to want to make sure that if you use spawnable blocks, that you top them with something non-spawnable. The creaking can spawn regardless of light level, and it'll spawn and it'll follow you around the farm, and that's not necessarily very good. So make sure that you have something non-spawnable here so they only spawn inside the farm. I would probably suggest using something non-spawnable like glass in the first place so they don't spawn on it at all. And keep in mind that because the creaking will spawn pretty much anywhere around the heart, that anything around this farm also needs to be non-spawnable. So once you've got this laid out where you want to build, we're going to go ahead and pick which side we want to overhang. As you guys remember, it overhangs on one side, so it can overhang on the right, it can overhang on the left. Since mine over there hangs over on the right, this one I'm going to make overhang on the left. So you build it exactly the same, it doesn't matter, it's it's personal preference. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like that. On top of that block there, we're going to place a block up there, just like that. And from that block, we're going to come out 2 blocks on either side, so it's 5 blocks wide in total. Once you have that in, go ahead and come over here and double those blocks in, just like so. Once you have that in place, go ahead and count up 4 more blocks, just like so. Bring this over again by 5 blocks, and then bring this one up as well. Once you have that, go ahead and place a temporary block in, and go ahead and build yourself another ring right in here, leaving the center open, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a temporary block right there. Go ahead and come back around front. We need to go ahead and place in carpet down along here, just like so. Go ahead and place in carpet all along those. Right here, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a sea lantern or any other light source block. Go ahead and break that block out and place that in. Take advantage of the carpet and light up your area. Once you have that in place, grab yourself an auto crafter and then go ahead and place it in there just like that, so he's looking at you just like so. Grab yourself a barrel, place it in there just like that. That'll be your storage system. If you like, you can definitely go ahead and turn this into a shulker box loader, and you could have a shulker box loader out the front. And if you guys want to do that, I've got a whole bunch of shulker box loaders, and I'll leave a tutorial to that right up there in the top right hand corner. So with that being said, let's go ahead and come right around back. Next, we need to go ahead and take some hoppers. We're going to place a hopper right in the back there just like so. On top here, we're going to place another hopper in there just like that. And then off the side right here, we're going to take another hopper. We're going to place it right over this hopper, but facing into that hopper just like that. So that way, as you can see, the nozzle is facing into there. Once you've got that done, next we need to go ahead and wire up this auto crafter. Go ahead and take a block in there just like so. Go ahead and place one out there just like that. Next, we're going to go ahead and place another block up here just like that, and then go ahead and place yourself in a comparator right there just like so. Place in 2 blocks in right here. Take yourself another comparator. Grab yourself another auto crafter, and then in here, you're going to go ahead and punch down all 9 of these blocks in here just like that. Once you have that done, come down here with a temporary block just like so and put redstone dust on top of that one just like that. Grab yourself a sticky piston and face it in that direction. And then grab yourself an observer. We're going to come right up here. We're going to face an observer with the red dot facing up on that sticky piston just like so. So the face is facing down. Grab yourself a temporary block and put yourself and another observer in there just like that. So whenever this gets extended, you can see that it's going to go ahead and tick back and forth because those are looking at each other. So now we're going to go ahead and retract that. And you can actually get rid of that lever, and we're going to bring that lever all the way around over here and put the on switch right there. And then to wire this guy up, we need to come right around back. We're going to place in a block right next to that crafter down below right here. Go ahead and put some redstone dust on top of it just like this. Go ahead and grab a couple more blocks in here just like so. Put a temporary one down there, break that one out. Then you're going to go ahead and extend these out by 2 more blocks just like so. We're going to come up here just like that, and we're going to break that block out. Go ahead and put yourself in a redstone torch right there. Grab yourself some repeaters, and you're going to put 3 repeaters in here, and you're going to put 3 repeaters in here, and you're going to put all of those on 4 ticks. And as you can see, that's going to go ahead and create a clock. Once you put all of these on 4 ticks, you should see that your clock is going around just like this. And if that's the case, then go ahead and come right around here. Turn the farm off. In this case, down is off. And as you can see, the clock is going to stop. Just this side stays powered. And then once you have that complete, go ahead and come on down below, put a temporary block in right there, and then one down below just like so, and break out your temporary block. Put in some redstone dust on top of that piston just like that. That's a sticky piston. Then we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in an observer with the red dot facing in this direction just like that. And then coming off the arm of that piston, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a block right there like that with a redstone torch on the top of it, just like so. On top of that redstone torch, we're going to place ourselves in another block with another redstone torch on it, just like so. Then we're going to go out in all 4 directions. Go ahead and place in blocks in here, just like so. Then once you have that done, go ahead and grab yourself some repeaters and go ahead and place a repeater in there, just like this, in every direction, just like so. When you have that in place, go ahead and put a block up there in front of all the repeaters just like this. Then once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and take yourselves a piston, and you're going to put it on top of these blocks in here just like this. So go ahead and grab a piston, go ahead and place it in there just like this on top of all of those. And then once you have your pistons in place, then go ahead and come on down below, down to this redstone torch here on the side of this block. Right off the side of that block right there, we're going to put a temporary one and then have yourself a daylight sensor right there. Go ahead and break out your temporary block. This daylight sensor needs to be inverted, so go ahead and click on it once so it turns that funky blue color like that. And then go ahead and place in a temporary block there, bring blocks out in front, and you're going to have 4 in total. Once you have that in, go ahead and raise a block up and come out here and there, just like that. You can break these 2 blocks out. What we need to do now is we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a repeater in there, just like so, a torch on the side of it, just like this, and we're going to put redstone dust all the way up to our daylight sensor. Once you've got all this in place, that is pretty much all of your redstone done and dusted down below. Now we need to go ahead and put in the floor. What we're going to do here is this is going to be the catch basin where all the items land. We need to put ourselves in a glass block there, a temporary block there, and then a glass block down there like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and count 4 blocks in each direction. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to come off to this side and go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you reach that edge, you're going to go ahead and turn like this and go ahead and put 1 piece of glass right there, followed by 1, 2, 3 pieces of packed ice. On this side right here, go ahead and place yourself in another piece of packed ice in there, just like so. Then go ahead and grab yourself a glass block and then put yourself in a slab in right there. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. We're going to go ahead and count 1 block down here just like this, followed by 3 packed ice. We're going to put 1 over here in the side just like that, and then go ahead and place yourself in a glass block and a slab in there just like this. The rest of this can all get filled up with glass, so we're going to fill it all the way up to the repeaters in there just like that. Go ahead and bring it all the way around. Go ahead and enclose all that in. You can do the same thing over here. Go ahead and fill all of this in, and then once you have that done, then we can go to the other side over here. Then what we're going to do down here is we need to go ahead and get ourselves in right to this hopper right here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and place in ourselves a temporary block right there. Go ahead and place that in, and we're going to place in a packed ice just like this. We're going to do the same thing on this side, a temporary block. Go ahead and place in your packed ice in here in this angle just like that. Then what we can do is we can go ahead and fill the rest in with glass. That's going to go ahead and come all the way up to there, come all the way out to here. Go ahead and bring this all the way back in here just like so, and then go ahead and fill in the middle just like that with glass. Over here we're going to do the exact same thing. Go ahead and come out by 2 blocks like this, and then fill that in by another 3 blocks. Go ahead and fill in this space as well, and then to fill in the rest of these blocks here with glass. Once you've got this done, then be sure to come over here, place in yourself a bit of glass like that with a slab in it just like so. Then grab yourself some more glass and go ahead and put it all the way around your entire floor just like this. Go ahead and break that one out, and then just bring this all the way around, leaving out the corners. You can go just like this and break out the corners and take that all the way around. Once you have a wall all the way around your catch basin just like this, next we're going to come up to the front up here, and we're going to place in 2 blocks right here just like so of glass, and then over here we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to place in 2 blocks here of glass. Out the front here we're going to go ahead and skip a block, and we're going to come right in here just like that, skipping a block on that side as well, so it's just 1 shorter on the other than just like that. Then on this block we're going to go ahead and come off the top of here. We're going to go ahead and bring this all the way around just like so. Go ahead and snake this around here just like that. Then on this side, go ahead and put a temporary block in right there, and put yourself in a piston in that direction. You can break out that block and put yourself in a button right there. Next, go ahead and come over here. We're going to do the exact same thing with this side. We're going to go ahead and bring this all the way across. Go ahead and put yourself in a temporary block and another glass block, another temporary block, and then right here we're going to place ourselves in a piston like that. Break out your temporary block and put yourself in a button right there. Then what we can do is, if you can go ahead and place glass on one of these pistons, and then when you go to the other side, you're just going to simply skip a block just like that, so those glass blocks can get pushed back and forth. And then once you have that in place, you should be able to grab some observers and place 11 observers in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and you should see that you have a gap to your next piston over there. Grab some more pistons, and we're going to place pistons on top of all of these observers just like this. Go ahead and place those all in all the way across here just like so. And then when you have that done, go ahead and grab yourself a temporary block there. Go ahead and place in 3 blocks in around it just like so. When you have that in place, go ahead and drag that all the way down here here to the end. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. Go ahead and place in all of your blocks. Then go ahead and come right over here and bring that all the way back down to the end. On top here, go ahead and place yourself in a temporary block. We're going to place in 2 solid blocks in there, just like so. Then go ahead and grab yourself some more glass blocks. We're going to come all the way over to the other side, minus these 2 blocks, and go ahead and place in 2 solid blocks. Once you've got all that in place, then go ahead and come down to your pistons down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some glass. We're going to go ahead and throw 3 bits of glass in there from piston to piston, and then we're going to go just like this from piston to piston, just like that. So that way all of those repeaters in that redstone torch down there are all protected by that glass. What we're going to do now is we're going to grab ourselves some water. We're going to come right to this back piston right here, the most furthest back one. This one does not have a slab around it like those. So this one is just open just like this, and we're going to put some water in there just like that. You should see that it flows all the way to your slabs. Once you have that, go ahead and put some water right there and put some water right there, and you should see that both of those also flow up to that slab. Once you see that your water is flowing just like this, next we need to go ahead and take ourselves some glass. We're going to come right on top of here. We're going to go ahead and build a square around all the glass blocks that are right by their pistons here. On top of this piston right here, right over here, we're going to go ahead and bring this glass around here just like so, just like that. Over here, we're going to do the same thing with that bit of glass. Bring that all the way around here and circle that around. Do the same thing on this corner as well, so that you have a full box just like this. There we go. All right, so now we have a square on top of that is encompassing all of our pistons, and it's on top of all the glass that's on the outside of the pistons. Next, we need to go ahead and do the same thing right here, and we have glass that we're going to come off of right here. We're going to come all the way down here just like so. Go ahead and turn, and then cover this up as well. Do the same thing, turn, and then bring this all the way down to the other side and fill in those last 2 blocks. And then if you would like your farm to glow at night, I suggest putting in some torches right here in these areas. Go ahead and put them in the center on all 3 sides just like this. They're not that noticeable, and they'll make your whole build glow at nighttime, since this is a nighttime build and you're going to be using this farm at night. Underneath here, you could do the same thing right around here, right next to that hopper. Go ahead and place yourself on a torch right there as well. Then once you have that torch in and all of these, then go ahead and grab your water. We're going to come back up to the front right over here. Go ahead and place yourself in 1 water right there just like that. That should flow to the center just like so. Do the same thing over here. These buttons should hold it in. Make sure that those buttons are there holding your water in. That's very important. Once you have that done, then go ahead and grab yourself some glass. Go ahead and bring that over here just like so, and bring that all the way across here just like that. Put some more glass on top of there just like so, which should meet up with the top just like it is. And then once you have that in place, go ahead and take some more glass blocks and finish out these sides here just like this, but leave the top open like that. Do the same thing on this side as well. Go ahead and bring these walls up here just like that. Leave the top open. Above this piston, go ahead and place a block in there just like that and like that. And then once you get that completed, go ahead and grab your glass again. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to come right on the inside of this area. We need to go ahead and box this all in. We're going to start right here where the glass stops on this side, and we're going to place in 2 blocks in there just like that. We're going to bring that all the way across just like so. That should leave you 3 pistons and 3 observers on each side just like so. When you have that in, go ahead and do the same thing on these 2 sides, stopping at the corners just like that, bringing it up too high. Go ahead and do that on all 4 sides. Once you have that built up around all 4 sides, next we need to come on top of our pistons over here. We're actually going to go ahead and remove these blocks here, and we're going to put them right back when we're done. So go ahead and remove these, and then we're going to take ourselves some tridents. Go ahead and throw tridents in here just like that, facing the glass just like this. Go ahead and make sure that they're all facing the glass, 1 per glass. Go ahead and do that all the way across. And then when you're finished, go ahead and place yourself on a temporary block and put your blocks back on top just like so. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to come right over here just like that. Go ahead and place in glass blocks all the way across just like before. The last 2 blocks, we're going to put in solid blocks there, and we're actually going to put solid blocks in there, and you can fill the middle in with glass as well. Then once you have that done, we can go up by another 2 layers right here. Go ahead and do the same thing all the way around by another 2 layers. At this point, your farm should be looking like this, and it's looking pretty good at this point in time. Next, we need to go ahead and bring out the spawning platforms, which is going to be these, and it's going to wrap around the entire farm. So now we're going to go ahead and count 8 blocks in total, including these 2, so we need to do 6 more. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like that. That should bring you back to the glass right here, just like so. Go ahead and do the same thing just like that on this side. Do the same thing on this side as well. Bring that all the way back here by 8 blocks on both sides. And then then once you have that in place, go ahead and come up by 1 and over by 2. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring that all the way across to the edge of our blocks over here, and then bring this all the way back here just like that. Once you have this in place, next we're going to go ahead and focus on where the Creakings are going to be falling down into the kill chamber. They'll be spawning on this platform, falling down into here, and then falling down into here, and ultimately getting pushed into there. So to do that, we're going to bring out a couple temporary blocks just like this and one up just like that. Go ahead and come right over here, and we're going to place ourselves in 2 sticky pistons facing in that direction. Then go ahead and get rid of those 3 temporary blocks. Then once you have that in place, go ahead and grab yourself some glass, put it on the front of those sticky pistons just like so. Then right here on the side of this glass, place yourself in a solid block with a redstone torch on it like that. You should see that that extends just like so and fills in that gap like right there. Then grab yourself a button. We're going to place it on top of there to make it non-spawnable for the Creakings so they don't spawn. Then go ahead and come down to this piston, put yourself in a temporary block, place in a block catty corner to it just like this, so you can put some redstone dust on top of it just like that. Now that one should also go forward. So now anytime that you go ahead and break this torch, you should see that both pistons go back and forth. And then once you have that in, we need to do the exact same thing to the other side. So let's come on over here, and we're going to come right down to this block. We're going to place in 2 temporary blocks and one up just like this. Place in 2 sticky pistons, 2 bits of glass on their face. Break out your temporary blocks down below. Grab yourself a button and put it on top. Grab yourself a block right here on the side of that glass with a redstone torch right there. Grab yourself some glass, place it in there just like this. Put some redstone dust on top of it, and don't fall down below your build like I just did. Go ahead and place in some redstone dust in right there, and you should see that anytime that you break and place that they both move forward. And then once you have that in place, now we need to go ahead and build the tube where the Creaking is going to be falling down right here. So we need to come up by a total of 3 blocks just like that. So we have 3 blocks above our piston just like there. Then go ahead and on top of the piston arm, place in 3 blocks. And then over here on this side, also place in 3 blocks just like this. And then what we're going to do over here is we're going to place ourselves in a block right there. Break that one out. Grab yourself a button. We're going to place it in there just like that. Then grab yourself a tripwire hook and place it in there just like so. What we need to do now is we're going to come right over here. We're going to place in a block right there. We're going to place 2 up here just like so. Go ahead and place in here again just like this, bringing this all the way up 3 blocks tall. You can do the same thing right here if you wish to go ahead and continue this on. And then from right here, we're going to take ourselves a bucket of water. We're going to place it in there so that way it's level with these blocks just like so. And that button should be stopping the water from flowing in there. Once you have that done, grab yourself another tripwire hook. Place it in on the other side and place yourself some tripwire in between. Go ahead and place that in there, and you should see that that connects up there just like so. Then when you have that all in place, grab yourself a glass block and place it in there right beside your tripwire hook right over here, and then grab yourself a redstone repeater and place it in there on 4 ticks. Anytime that you trigger this tripwire hook, you should see that repeater lights up just like so. Then grab yourself a temporary block and put one up here just like so. Grab yourself a glass block and come on down below, and then break that temporary block out. Grab yourself some redstone dust and place it here and there. And then, of course, we need to do the exact same thing to the other side, so let's come on over here. What we're going to do over here is we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to come up by 3 blocks in total, so 1, 2, and 3. We're going to come up on this side as well, matching that, and then we're going to come up here and match that as well. And then right here, we're going to do the same thing on top of the piston arm. And on the 3rd block, we're going to come out by 1 and break that one out. Then go ahead and grab yourself a tripwire hook right here and a button right there. These blocks over here, I actually did that prematurely. You can break those out. These actually need to come across the width of your solid blocks right here, and then that comes up right here just like so, and you can bring that all the way across. You can also place in your block in right there. Then grab yourself a tripwire hook and place it in there just like so, so you have both tripwire hooks. Then grab yourself some water, place it in there just like that. The water should flow in this direction and stop at that button. Then grab yourself some string and place it on that tripwire hook and on that tripwire hook, and you should see that they get connected. Then anytime that you go ahead and trigger that, you should see that it clicks just like so. Once you have that in place, go ahead and grab yourself some glass, place it in there just like that on the side of your tripwire hook. Place yourself in a 4-tick repeater just like this. Grab yourself a solid block, put it up in front. Down below, grab yourself a glass block and then break out your temporary block. Grab yourself some redstone dust, put it there and there. To fully test out that circuit, anytime you trip that tripwire hook, those pistons should retract and the gate should open. So as you can see, the creaking should be able to fall down in there. And then when they get out of the way, it closes back up and shoves them into the killing chamber. So make sure that it happens on both sides, just like so. And as you can see, that gets out of the way and then it closes back up again. Once you have your tripwire hooks all set up, next we need to go ahead and carry this glass around our spawning platform. So we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way down here to the end right there, just like that. Over here, we're going to do the exact same thing, bring it all the way down here, just like so. Then around here, we need to continue our wall up as well, so that's going to be continuing on right there. Over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring this all the way back here, just like that. And then up here in the front, we're also going to go ahead and bring this all the way up here, just like that. We're going to bring that up by 3 blocks in total, so we're going to go 2 more, just like that, on that whole square, just like that. And then you can go ahead and carry this around here too. You can bring this up by 2 more blocks around here, just like so. And then on top of your tripwire hook, we can go ahead and go just like this. We can take in our temporary block and place in a block on top of that tripwire hook, just like so. Then bring this up by another 2 blocks as well. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Go ahead and carry this up by 2 blocks here, 2 blocks there, 2 blocks there, 2 blocks there, all the way around. And then on top of your tripwire hook, come out by a temporary block, just like so. Bring that up by 2 blocks and carry that all the way up here. Next, we're going to go ahead and carry that down the sides here as well, just like that. And you can carry that all the way around here, just like so. Then bring that all the way around, just like that, and carry that all the way around to the other side as well. Do the same thing. Go ahead and carry that around the corner. Once you have that in place, you need to go ahead and do the same thing right here. Bring this wall in to the bottom of this right here, just like so. Then you can carry your second layer of glass all the way back and in, just like this. Then what we need to do is we're going to put in the final layer of glass for the front, all the way around here, just like so. Once you have that in and that wall's complete, next we need to go ahead and just finish off the back. We're going to come at 2 blocks right here in front. We're going to go ahead and place in it 3 blocks tall, just like that, all the way around. Go ahead and finish this all the way around here with 1 more layer, just like so. And it go 2 blocks in front, just like so. Do the same thing right here, 2 blocks, and then finish that all in. There is your spawning platforms pretty much all done. Once your glass is all 3 tall around all of your spawning platforms, next go ahead and grab some glass, and we're going to come right up here to your water flowing over. Go ahead and place in a block right there, and you can break that one out right there. You can also break that one out right there. Next, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a button on that block right there and a button on this block. Place a button down there and a button down there. Come back up and place a button there and a button there. You should have a V shape of buttons on both sides. And then see how the water is flowing in this direction from right to left. Well, on this side, we're going to do it opposite. We're going to do it from left to right. So place in your water right there. And what that does is it allows the creaking to get fully aligned so they go down a lot easier. If 2 creakings get stuck here in the corner, one's trying to go that way, one's trying to go this way, they sometimes fight over their positions. So this water here gets all the creakings coming in to align with this side, so all the creakings on this side can get aligned going there. Now we need to do the exact same thing on this side, so let's do the same thing. Let's grab ourselves a glass block, break that one out, and we can break that one out. Grab ourselves a button, put it on both sides, come down by 1 and over by 1, just like that, creating a V shape of buttons. Then whatever way our water is flowing, which is from left to right over here, we're going to do it from right to left over here. Once you have those bits of water in place, next go ahead and come back here to these corners. We're going to place buttons on all 4 of these blocks here and do the same thing on this side as well. Then come up here to the glass on the side, 2 blocks up here, just like that. Place in 2 buttons there. Do the same thing on this side, 2 buttons there and 2 buttons there. Grab yourself some water and place in 2 water sources right there, and you should see that those flow all the way up to the front, and do the same thing on this side, and you should see that those flow all the way up to the front. Once you have your water streams in place, then go ahead and come to the middle of the back spawning platform, and once you're in the middle, go ahead and place yourself in it, 2 bits of water in there just like that. However, if a creaking spawns right here in the middle, they're not going to get pushed in any direction. They're just going to sit here because it doesn't really push them. You have to be in the flowing water to get pushed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take glass over that water source, 2 up just like that, so that way no creakings can spawn in there. Once you have all of that complete, it looks kind of nice glowing at night with some torches in it right there and right there. Do one right around the back here in the middle just like so. Do again right here and then another one right here in the front. That'll make it glow really nice at night. And once your farm is starting to look like this, next we're going to go ahead and bring the center square up by 3 more blocks from here. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And remember, we don't need the corners, so we can skip the corner and go 1, 2, and 3. We're going to bring that up to that height all the way around, skipping the corners. Just like that. And then when you have that all in place, then we need to go ahead and put a roof on top of our spawning platform. So go ahead and come to the top right here and come off the wall in the center. You can go ahead and cap it off just like this. Once you have that done and you're at the front, go ahead and come to this side and finish it off all the way to the front, just like this. And then once you have that done, go ahead and come over here. You're going to go up a block just like that to continue your roof. I've gone ahead and I've filled in that block because I didn't like the way it looked when it was open. So I covered that with the roof, and then I brought that all the way across and over here. Bring that all the way over to the other side, all the way down here. Do the same thing right here. You can go ahead and fill that block in if you want to. Then once you get to here, you can come back down and fill that in all the way to the front, just like so, and do the same thing on the other side as well. And then once all of your roof blocks are in, next we're going to go ahead and come on over here to the center, right in the front of our farm right here. Come right to the center top block, and we're going to place ourselves in a solid block just like this. Go ahead and put 2 copper bulbs to either side, just like so. And then on one side, go ahead and grab yourself a button and put it on both, but then press one of the buttons so one of them lights up like that. Then once you have that in place, go ahead and put redstone dust there and there. Then what we can do is we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a glass block there and a glass block there. Grab yourself a comparator, put it in there and there. Then what we can do is we can go ahead and go just like this with a sticky piston, place that in there just like this. Then what we need to do is we need to place ourselves in an observer in here just like this. You might have to break one of these blocks out and put yourself in an observer with the red dot facing down just like that. And then do the exact same thing on the other side. Go ahead and place yourself in a sticky piston in front of the comparator. Then grab yourself a observer right here and place that in there facing down just like this with the red dot facing in this direction downwards just like this. Then once you have that, you can place that back in there. And then be sure to make everything spawn proof up here. Go ahead and take a temporary block and put 2 glass blocks out there like that. That'll make sure no matter what position that observer's in, it'll always be non-spawnable. Then over here, go ahead and put one over the piston arm if it's extended just like this. That way those 2 positions of that observer will be covered. Then on the pistons over here, go ahead and take yourself some buttons and place them in right there. You could use glass if you want to, but I decided to use buttons because you can't really see them. And then once you have that completed, then next we need to go ahead and wire these observers up to these pistons down here. These control these pistons. And so we're going to start from the bottom here. Go ahead and place a temporary block in there. And then at 2 glass blocks up just like this. Go ahead and put a temporary block in there and a glass block up just like that. Put a temporary block in here. 1 right there and 1 right there. And then 1 more up diagonally right there. Then once you have that in place, go ahead and take redstone dust and wire that all the way up to the top. Putting redstone dust on top of all of these blocks just like so, going all the way up to here, and then you're going to leave it 1 block shy if the piston is not extended, and you're going to put it underneath the block where it would be extended. So over here, we're going to put it directly underneath the observer because the piston is extended, and we're going to wire that all the way up down to this piston. So again, we're going to go ahead and place a temporary block there. We're going to go up 2 blocks just like this. Over here, we're going to go up a block just like so. Go ahead and place yourself in a temporary block right there, 1 right there, 1 right there, and then another 1 right there. Then go ahead and come back down and put redstone dust on top of your piston, on top of your glass, leading all the way back up to your observer, up to the top, just like that. Once you have that wired up, you should be able to test your circuit. You should be able to press any one of these buttons. So if we press the button there, should see that it'll go ahead and switch sides. And then if you press it again, you should see that your tridents at least start to go. And so if you continue to press it, you should see that every time you press it, your tridents go up and down just like that. So make sure that that's happening before you move forward. Once you know your switching station is working and your Trident Killers are going back and forth, then go ahead and place yourself in another glass block right there on the side of that redstone. And then go ahead and place yourself in another glass block over the void here in the middle, and then come back up by 1 just like so. Then grab yourself another glass block and place 1 up just like that as a temporary block. And then now we're going to place a downwards facing piston off of that block here just like so. Go ahead and break that block out and put redstone dust leading up to it, and grab yourself a button and place it on top. We're going to do that in every center position on this side. So again, over here, what we would do is we place redstone dust dust there, glass there, glass there, and glass there. These aren't temporary blocks where you're going to be keeping these, so there's no need to break them out. Go up by a second block and place yourself in a downwards facing piston. Then go ahead and break that one out and put redstone dust leading back to it and put a button on top to make it non-spawnable. So over here, we're going to do the exact same thing. I'll just do it on camera with you guys. We're going to put redstone dust there, a block of glass there, another block of glass there, 2 up just like so, a piston facing down, break out the temporary block, put in the redstone dust, put in your button to make it non-spawnable, and then finally over here we're going to do redstone dust, we're going to do glass and glass and glass, one more bit of glass, and then some piston facing down, break that block out, put in your redstone dust, and then put in your button on top of your piston. Once you've got all of your pistons in place and all of your redstone done, then go ahead and come to the backhand side right in the dead center, and we're going to go place ourselves in a torch right there. That'll kind of illuminate it at nighttime. And so now that the top is all done, now we need to go ahead and grab ourselves our blocks here and jump down inside, down into here. Once you're down into here, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in this pale oak. We're going to place this in on top of our pistons in this orientation, just like this. And then it doesn't matter which way you place the creaking heart, it's going to light up no matter what. You need to do this 11 times all the way back up to the top. And then once you reach the top, you should have counted that you have 11 creaking hearts in this stack right here. Then once you have that all in place, then go ahead and place yourself on a redstone torch right there and put a repeater facing outwards in front of all 4 directions, just like that. Now anytime that the bottom pistons push up, that's going to get pushed up. That's going to push this block right in front of that redstone, and it's going to power that piston. So now what we need to do is we need to put glass on top of those blocks just like so. Go ahead and put glass on top of all of your log blocks. Then once you have that all done, then we can go ahead and start to fill in the rest of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in this 2x2 area right here just like that. Go ahead and come around to this side. Go ahead and fill in that 2x2 area just like so. Around here, we're going to do the same thing, another 2x2 area. And finally, on the very last side, we're going to fill in the last bit of that 2x2 area. If you want to make your farm bigger from this point, then you can totally do that by placing some redstone torches on the insides of all of your pistons right here. And then you can place blocks right on top of them. And if you go just like this all the way around, you can go ahead and take yourself another set of redstone torches. Go ahead and place those in on top of all of these blocks. Then grab yourself a piston and place it in the upwards position around all of these. Once you have all that in place all the way around, then that would be your starting point as the same pistons right here underneath these pale oak blocks. And because this is getting powered from the farm that's down below, you wouldn't have to build any of this redstone down here, just the storage system. And that makes expanding this farm super easy. But of course, this is only if you want to expand it, and if you don't want to expand it, this is the farm fully complete right here. And then once you finish that, your farm is complete. That is the top, tippy top of your farm all done and dusted. Now it is time to go ahead and turn it to night, and go ahead and turn on your farm. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's turn our farm on and turn it to nighttime. So here, we're going to turn the farm on. The daylight sensor in the back is going to keep the farm off because it is daytime. So now we need to set it to nighttime. So let's go ahead and do that. We should see that the farm turns on, that the creakings begin to spawn, they begin to flow in, and they get pushed into the kill chamber just like so. Once you see that happening, you know your farm is working. Double check and make sure that all of your tridents are in place. While you're building it, you may have accidentally picked one up. As you can see over here, I accidentally picked one up over there. So I'm going to go ahead and come right over to the back over here, break this glass, place in another trident in there just like that, and you can do it while the farm is running, and as you can see, it's going to get right in the mix there just like all the rest of them. Once your farm warms up and has resin on the inside corners, you're going to see that resin begins to spread to the outer blocks where they get pushed off and broken, and you should start to see that you have resin blocks coming into your system. And you should see that every time that the Trident Killers go off, that each one of these guys has the particle effects interacting with its heart. And as long as you see that, then you know that your farm is working and it's 100% complete. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it building this farm with me. This was actually a lot of fun. This farm looks really cool. Your friends will be super jealous because it looks awesome and it works really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys did, be sure to smack that like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next tutorial. Take it easy, everybody.